Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Solorzano and today I'm reading Manners, Manners, Stitch. This book is by Leslie Ann Hayashi and illustrated by the Disney Storybook art team. Lilo, Nani, and Stitch were enjoying a nice breakfast one day. Stitch stuffed his mouth full of fluffy pancakes. As he chewed, he demanded syrup. Then he slurped down his guava juice and let out a big burp. Stitch, that's a lot of poor table manners in the last 10 seconds, Nani said. Manners? Stitch asked around a large bite of pineapple. Manners are how we treat each other, Nani explained. Good manners show that we respect and care about the people around us. Stitch shrugged. The rules couldn't be that important, right? But then Nani said, at the potluck luau on Saturday, all the guests will use their best manners. Maybe you're not ready to attend. I'll teach him, Lilo said. I have an idea that will help. A manners book. Lilo reached for a notebook and started scribbling suggestions. Suddenly there was a knock on the door. Perfect timing for your first lesson, Stitch, Lilo declared. Welcoming with aloha, first you smile, then you give a handshake. Here in Hawaii, we sometimes give a shaka sign too. Lilo ran to open the door. Welcome, David. Please come in, Lilo said with a big smile. She reached out to shake his hand. I'm teaching Stitch super important manners. Ah, got it, David said. Good luck, Stitch. We all need to learn and relearn manners. Stitch felt overwhelmed. How could he learn all these important manners by Saturday? Everyone headed to the supermarket. I told the Macadangdangs that we'd pick up some ingredients for them too, Nani said. Being helpful is another way to show good manners, Lilo told Stitch. Nani and David pushed the shopping cart around the store when they accidentally bumped into other carts. They apologized. Excuse me, so sorry. Lilo saw Myrtle, one of her classmates. When Myrtle spotted Lilo and Stitch, she turned up her nose and walked away in a huff. Before they could react to Myrtle's rudeness, Nani announced, Done, we have everything on the list. Stitch rushed to the cash register. He didn't notice that he had cut in front of several other shoppers. No, Stitch, we have to wait our turn, Lilo said. To be patient. Try taking deep breaths, David said. Stitch breathed deeply and started to relax. The group walked to the Macadangdang's house. Learning manners can be tricky, Lilo said, but if you practice, it'll get easier. David rang the doorbell and said, Hello, it's Nani and David. A voice called back, Come in and make yourselves at home. Excited by the invitation, Stitch ran inside and jumped on the couch. He helped himself to a bowl of potato chips and turned on the television. Stitch, what are you doing? Lilo asked. Make at home, Stitch replied. That's just a saying, Nani said. It means to sit down and relax, not act like you really live here. Oh, Stitch mumbled as the Macadangdangs entered the living room. Stitch, very sorry, he said. how to make right. Apology accepted, Mr. Dang Dang said. Maybe you could clean up a bit. Stitch zipped around the room, sweeping up crumbs, putting the remote back and fluffing the pillows. Nice, said Freddie Macadang Dang. Stitch smiled with relief. When they returned home, Lilo said, I'm proud of you, Stitch. You learned a lot of lessons today. The praise made Stitch feel great. Maybe he could get the hang of good manners after all. Over the next few days, Stitch worked hard to learn many kinds of manners. Even their friend Mr. Bubbles noticed Stitch's progress. In the park one day, Mr. Bubbles told Stitch, a good citizen is also honest and responsible, someone who finds peaceful ways to solve problems. Just then, Myrtle and her poodle Cashmere walked by. Myrtle made a face at Lilo. As one of Stitch's teachers, you can show him how to handle people you don't get along with, Mr. Bubbles said to Lilo. Lilo stayed quiet, watching Myrtle walk away. The night before the potluck luau, Nani, Lilo, and Stitch prepared a halpia, a traditional coconut pudding. Stitch, are you ready for tomorrow? Nani asked. Stitch nodded. He held up his manners book. Nani smiled. Okay, just remember to treat everyone with respect, understanding, and kindness. At the luau, laughter, music, and the smell of delicious food filled the air. Although they were excited, Lilo and Stitch greeted everyone politely. Then they got in line and waited for their turn to eat, even though Stitch was very hungry. Good job being patient, Stitch, Lilo whispered encouragingly. Once they had their plates, Lilo and Stitch sat with Freddie and his family. Here, try our lumpia, Freddie said, offering Stitch a spring roll from his plate. Thanks, Freddie, Stitch said. In return, he offered to share his halpia. Everyone beamed at Stitch's good behavior. Just then, Stitch noticed Myrtle and her poodle. Wanting to show his good manners, Stitch approached them with a plate of halpia. On his way there, he stumbled over a tree root, and up flew the halpia and splats. The dessert landed on Cashmere's head. So sorry, Stitch said, trying to brush the halpia off Cashmere. Get away from us, Myrtle shrieked at him. Lilo rushed to defend Stitch. It was an accident. He's the rudest dog I've ever met, Myrtle said. Stitch has worked really hard on his manners, Lilo said. You're the one who's being rude. Stitch remembered all the lessons he had learned. He grabbed a lei and draped it around Cashmere's neck. The poodle loved the flowers. Stitch handed another lei to Lilo. Treat everyone with respect, he whispered. Myrtle, maybe we can, Lilo started. Get along today, Myrtle finished. Nodding, Lilo placed the lei around Myrtle's neck. Thanks, Stitch, Lilo said. I guess I still have lessons to learn about manners too. Nani gathered Lilo and Stitch into a hug. I'm proud of both of you, she said. Stitch smiled with the support of his ohana. He had learned the most important manner of all. Treat everyone with love in your heart. I hope you like this book, and I will see you all in August. Have a great summer.
Join us again next week for another story, and don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. At PBMA, an adventure awaits.